The suspected gunman in the shooting at this weekend's White House Correspondents Dinner is facing multiple federal charges today. 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen of Torrance, California, is facing a total of 3 counts, including attempting to assassinate the president. He did not enter a plea during yesterday's hearing. His next court appearance is scheduled for Thursday. Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche said yesterday the Justice Department will, quote, ensure that accountability is swift.
Violence has no place in civic life. It cannot and will not be used to disrupt democratic institutions or intimidate those who serve them, and it certainly cannot continue to be used against the President of the United States.
We've got team coverage on this for you this morning. Olivia Rinaldi is tracking the administration's response to the shooting from our D.C. bureau. But let's begin with CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman with me here in studio in New York. Katrina, good morning. Great to see you. So what did we learn yesterday about this suspect?
Good morning, Errol. So we're learning some more details that were in this complaint and affidavit that have now come out. There was the hearing yesterday. So we know about his movement, that on April 6th, he made a reservation at the Washington Hilton for the night before the dinner, the night of the dinner, and the night after. He then took a train from LA to Chicago, Chicago to DC, and checked into the Washington Hilton the day before. Now, when all of this action took place, the affidavit actually claims that shots were fired and that it began around 8:40 p.m. But there are also still some discrepancies, Errol, because our reporting, what Olivia and other reporters saw, actually indicates that this might have all began at 8:34 p.m. So it sounds like investigators still have some work to do here about really pinning down the timeline of what happened. They say that 5 of the shots that were fired were from the Secret Service. We don't yet know who fired the shot that actually hit the Secret Service agent, though. On Saturday, U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro had said that there was going to be a charge that was an assault on a federal officer. We did not see that charge, and the Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says they want to take their time to figure that out. So while more information is coming out, while we're learning from this affidavit by an FBI agent, there's also still a lot of details that need to be sorted here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem clear yet. The government is certain that this suspect fired a weapon. That's kind of a glaring detail. We'll find out more. Why didn't we hear the suspect enter a plea, and what is expected to happen later this week when he's back in court? So
this ended up being an initial court appearance. I mean, we hadn't even seen the complaint until yesterday, so they still have to get this grand jury indictment. On Thursday, there's going to be a detention hearing in the morning, and then they also set another preliminary hearing for May 11th right now. You know, the legal system can be a lot slower than people want it to be, so this will all continue to proceed. For now, he's going to remain detained.
Yeah, I'm sure the government wants to get this right. Katrina, thank you very much. Let's dig into this some more now with CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi. So, Olivia, this shooting suspect has officially been charged with trying to kill President Trump. What is the latest we're hearing from the White House on what will happen next?
Hey, good morning, Errol. It's good to see you. Yeah, we heard from Karoline Leavitt yesterday in a press briefing where she did say this is now the 3rd attempt that has happened on the president's life. And as a result of that, there is a conversation about the rhetoric surrounding our entire political apparatus, which has only been heating up really for the last 10 years and has crescendoed in the last 2 years into just a lot of violence that has been seen on both sides, not only against the president, but against Democratic officials and their families as well. I'm thinking about those families in Minnesota. I'm thinking about Paul Pelosi in mentioning this rising political violence that we have seen. So there was an effort yesterday to really talk about that rhetoric, but take a listen to what we heard from Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, contrasted with what we heard from Karoline Leavitt, the press secretary.
Political violence in any form directed at anyone, whether that's the right, the left, or the center, is unacceptable. Period. Full stop.
This political violence stems from a systemic demonization of him and his supporters by commentators, yes, by elected members of the Democrat Party, and even some in the media.
Now, this is similar to what has played out in previous iterations of political violence, where there was a lot of finger pointing on both sides. But seemingly, Hakeem Jeffries and the press secretary, talking about just getting to a place where some of this rhetoric can at least be toned down or stopped to hopefully prevent something like this from happening in the future.
And one other notable aspect of the reaction to this, Olivia, is the almost instant online reaction of MAGA supporters that this incident means that the president should get his wish in building a ballroom on the White House grounds. And we know that a lot of Republicans are now formalizing that effort. What's the importance of that?
Yeah, we actually saw last night Senator Lindsey Graham, Katie Britt, and Eric Schmidt unveil this new legislation, $400 million of taxpayer money to go to the president's ballroom initiative. We know that the East Room has already been knocked down. They have broken ground. There is construction happening nearly every day at the White House that we can see on that ballroom. And the president has said previously that it is fully funded from private donations, but yet we saw yesterday an effort to legislatively codify this effort to build this ballroom with the initiative that it is a security measure. Take a listen to what Lindsey Graham said about this yesterday.
Anybody who suggests that we have an event like this in the times in which we live in a facility like Hilton, that's crazy. So, no, we're going to build this facility.
It's necessary for the security of the president in big events like this?
No, it's obviously not. We just need to be smart about making sure that the security worked as it did and hopefully works better.
And I do want to note that the president's ballroom is expected to fit between 650 and about 1,000 people. But Errol, there were 2,500 people at the Washington Hilton on Saturday night. That's how big the White House Correspondents Dinner is. So there are questions about even if this ballroom was built, would it have fit everyone that was invited or needed to go on Saturday night?
Yeah, interesting justification then. Olivia, Rinaldi in our DC bureau, thank you for that.